What's up, YouTube? This is Ultimate Shield 340 back at it again with another Destiny 2 video. The reason why I wanted to create this build or create this video was to talk about your build and then talk a lot about the armor charge systems, my thoughts about it, as well as the subclasses drops, and maybe challenge your thinking on some builds and things that you can maybe do whenever you are creating your own build. So without further ado, here we are. First thing I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about the armor charge system. I already put out a video detailing about the armor charge system where, can you make the armor charge system a hybrid where you can either make it in such a way where you can spam a whole bunch of your abilities, which is the yellow kick starts and things like that, and you get the permanent armor charge, or do you want to go the blue buff, the blue mod buff route where they're temporary, but you get a boost to your stats, and that route, or in the case of a hybrid, you do a little bit of both. So I kind of wanted to expand on that conversation and really talk to you about this time about the stats, like the resilience, the discipline and things like that. And so I wanted to ask your opinion about your thoughts on all of this. And my question to you is that do you think it is worth how the armor charge system is at this time? Do you think that it is worth a new player going into the game looking for, say, like the triple perfect armor rolls that, say if you get, 100 resilience, 100 in discipline, and, we'll say 100 in strength, right? Which is, from what I see, typically more or less, what I see a lot of people going as far as their builds, specifically the resilience and the grenade 100%. All the time, with a third asset being, whatever it is that they are trying to focus on. So the reason why I asked you that question is because with the current armor charge system as it is now, you can go ahead and get you a blue buff where you are going to get, like, say, a font where you are going to give yourself a boost to your stats. So say, for instance, if you get one of these fonts of endurance, that's going to add 30 to your stats. So each of these fonts, for the record, from what I understand, they each all give you, 30 to your selected ability. So one of these is going to give you plus 30 to all of your abilities, right? So say if I was at resilience of 70 and I had this mod equipped and I pick up one overpower, I am now at 100 100 resilience, actually, with this mod in conjunction with how the armor charge system works. So my question to you all is, do you think it is worth it now, here at this point, to get the perfect stat rolls in your armor pieces where you are going to focus on getting 100% in your armor rolls in your stats? Or do you think that it's better for you to just keep the buffs? With the way the game works and how you can, kill people very quickly, spawn orbs of power, is it worth going through the trouble of actually finding armor and, things that are going to push you to the 100 cap on base or not? And I'm just curious to see what you all think. Personally, I think that I think this is just my personal opinion. I think it's actually to your benefit. It just sort of depends on what you're trying to do, right? I think that for a newer player, I think it's better for you to keep the buffs for now in order for you to compensate until you get better rolls on your gear, until you get to the end game. And I think it's better for you to get the 100% armor rolls on your class. And the only reason why I say it's better to get your armor rolls to the triple 100s on your stats, only so that it would then free up your armor slots for something else. So instead of, say, like in my armor mods right here, instead of me getting this resilience mod, then I can opt out for, like reduced damage from AoE effects, reduced damage from point blank ranges, and, reduced damage from long range. So I think it's probably a good idea for you to do a little bit of both, with a specific focus on probably getting your armor up to the triple 100s that you want to, only so it would then free up your mod slots for something else more important. But on the flip side, though, what if these three things aren't as important to you? What if you, say, are playing a void class and you're able to, keep your devourer up and kill a lot of people very quickly? and of course, keep all your buffs and stuff going. If you find yourself like that, it's just my personal opinion. I think it all boils down to play style and your personal play style. If you're able to keep up the buffs and higher end content or whatever, I think it's probably better suited for you to just get the triple, get your armor stats that you're looking for to the 70 mark, and then just rolling with the buffs right there. This way, it would essentially set you free from having to get the perfect rolls on your stats, and then it would then in turn free you up to maybe focus on something else, like maybe focusing on, say, maybe your exotics or whatever, or exotics, or even your exotic weapons, or whatever it is that you want to do in the game. So give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you all about was the subclass drops. Do you think it's important for you to get your subclasses to drop the specified items to increase your build? So the subclass drops, I mean, are the fire sprites, the stasis shards, the ionic traces, the void breaches, and then the tangles. The way how it works is that you are able to go ahead and make your builds do certain things, like, say, for instance, stasis shards. Once you pick them up, they will actually heal you up, and then if you have full health, you are going to get an overshield. Or in the event of your subclass right here, are you going to be able to, you can pick up the woven mail um, using the tangle or shooting the tangle and then get unraveling rounds or what have you. So I asked you this question because do you think it's worth it? I think that, again, it really boils down to play style, and for the record, all subclass drops are not equal. So, I think probably the worst subclass drop is probably the stasis subclass, with the best one being the void breaches. I say void breaches is best because the way you can spec it is that once you pick up a void breach, you are going to then get devour, which will fully heal you. And then, if you're able to keep up that buff, you are going to be continue to fully heal yourself and keep up that buff at all times. Whereas opposed to, say, these stasis shards only, heal you for a little bit. And that's not going to save you if you're being focus fired by, several mobs all at once. While the overshield ability is nice, Void Titans can do that with a simple button press rather than having to, first and foremost, be full heal, to gain the benefit of the overshield. You can just gain the overshield with a simple press of the button. Either your shield throw or your shield bash in the Sentinel class gives you the overshield regardless of you being full health or not. So those are some thoughts about the subclass. So I wanted to then ask you your question about the subclasses. Do you think it's important for you in your class to get the buffs, the subclass drops? I think it just depends on which one you're playing. Like I said before, some are better than others. I'll leave that up to you, but I want your opinion, which then brings me to my last point about those subclass drops. How are you making those subclass drops better for you in your builds? So take the Berserker class here. Once you pick up once you shoot the Tangle, you are going to suspend other targets, and depending on how you spec it, you can get like orbs of power from that, or and then the orbs of power is going to give you woven mail, and all of that is from spawning the tangle in certain cases. And obviously it's not the only way, but this is an example, right? So say you spawn the tangle, suspend the targets, you get the orb of power. Now you have the woven mail, and the woven mail is going to give you a damage reduction from all enemies. So that's going to be great. But I ask you, then what are you going to do now that you have this? How is this going to affect your build? Because of how woven mail works, it is going to protect you, but you don't have any healing from this, right? So even if you get woven mail and you can keep woven mail, uptime 100%, how are you altering your build to take advantage to compensate for the weakness of the build, right? And what I mean by that is that, say for instance, you have the woven mail, and you are, what can I do to take advantage of this? So you can go into your armor mods and you can say, hey, I'm noticing I'm, getting hit a lot, and what can I do to increase my survivability while I have that woven mail up. And so, as you can see here, there is this mod here. Every time you pick up an overpower, you are going to restore some health. So in this way, you can sort of compensate for the shortcomings of the subclass pickup. So, I want you to think whenever you are making your own builds, what are you doing to sort of compensate for the shortcomings of the build? Are you, altering your mods in such a way where you are going to be able to take the maximum amount of benefit, or are you just sort of leaving it as is, and not really, utilizing your build to its full potential? Now, I say all that to say, play the game however you want to play. I am no Bill Nazi. I would consider myself no longer a noob per se, but more of an intermediate player. I'm knowledgeable enough about the game to sort of give you an idea or direction about certain things and maybe answer a few questions. But I, haven't been playing this game for years or anything, so not knowledgeable enough to really give you, like, say, a real in-depth, this is this or this is that, kind of thing. But, those are a few thoughts. And I kind of want to know what your opinions are down below. So feel free to comment and everything. And I really appreciate everybody who's commented and, watched my channel up until this point. So, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you all. This is Ultimate Shield 340 signing off, and I'll see you in Destiny 2. Peace.